parents, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been almost 2 months since I posted. A little over 2 months, I'm sorry. Yeah, I filmed a little bit when I was in Montana, but I didn't film a whole lot. And I was like, oh, I'll just record some when I get back, and then just a little life got away from me from the time I was out there visiting family to Labor Day weekend, pretty much. So here we are. I'm back. No, I have not started my Throne of Glass deep dive that I've promised you. That is coming. I just have not started it yet. But today, instead, we are going to be going through my fall TBR. So this is what I'm anticipating reading between September 1st and November 30th. I had to go through the little song in my head they teach you in elementary school. So we are going to go through that today. It's a lot of fall, cozy, some creepy vibes. Super, super excited about these books. And we'll just dive right on in. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm so, so glad you are here. If you've been around for a little bit, welcome back. Cannot wait to go through these books with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a comment on some of these books that you might also be reading in the fall. And let me know your thoughts if you've read them already. So we'll go ahead and dive right on in. Awesome. So this stack is not in any specific order. These are just the ones I'm planning to get to over the next 3 months as we approach fall. And for me, fall starts September 1st. That is the official start of fall in my brain. And it goes to November 30th. And then we are in winter. So that's kind of how my brain works. So first we have The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. So this one, it's about this murder that happens where this family wakes up and 2 out of their 3 kids are killed in their sleep in their home. And everyone is whispering about the 3rd kid, thinking, oh, he had to have done it, like he's crazy. And he's just trying to avoid that and fly under the radar while he is growing up. And then it doesn't help his case when he becomes a horror writer. And so he's writing all of these scary, spooky books. People think he killed his siblings, but there's no proof, so they never did anything for it. And he has this daughter who she's estranged from him. And she's trying to fly under the radar, has nothing to do with him, does not want to be associated with him at all because of the family history. And then she ends up falling on hard times and gets this offer to be a ghostwriter for her father. With that, it is not his typical book. It's not his fiction novel, that kind of thing. He wants her to write the story that talks about what really happened that night when his 2 siblings were killed. What? So, super excited. His daughter ends up finding all these secrets and deceit and lies and all of these thrilling, like, spooky season. Like, what's going on? Like, who killed my aunts, uncles, whatever they were? Like, who killed my father's siblings? And was it him? Which is the obvious thought. Like, he is actually the one that did it. But I don't know. So I'm excited to dive into this one. This one is a very recent pickup, and I read the premise of it because of how beautiful these edges are. So excited to dive into this book. Pop that one up here. Got my own little TBR cart now, and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with them. I'm going to have to reorganize it so I have these at the priority level. So I naturally grab these first. So next up we have The Stillwater Girls by Minka Kent. So this is, when I picked it up, it kind of reminded me of Where the Crawdads Sing, because the back of it's been a while since I read the back. So it says, they were raised to fear everything in the world, especially the truth. Ignorant of civilization and caution against its evils, 19-year-old Ren and her 2 sisters, Sage and Evie, were raised in an off-the-grid isolation in the primitive cabin in upstate New York. When the youngest grows gravely ill, their mother leaves the children to get help from a nearby town, and they never return. As months pass, hope vanishes, supplies are low, livestock are dying, a brutal winter is bearing down, Then comes the stranger. He claims to be looking for the girl's mother, and he's not leaving without them. To escape, Ren and her sister must break the rule they've grown up with. Never go beyond the forest. Past the thicket of dread, they come upon a house on the side of the pines. This is where Ren and Sage must confront something more chilling than the unknowable. They'll discover what's been hidden from them, what they're running from, and the secrets that have left them in the dark their entire lives. So, super excited about this. Like, they have no idea what's going on in civilization, and basically they have to figure it out because their mom and sister never come back, and then this weird guy shows up and like, who are you? And they end up in this cabin. I don't know what happens. It's literally like the Stillwater Girls, a thriller. I'm super excited about this. I have not read it. It should be a pretty quick read. It's only, how many pages is this? Acknowledgements. It's only 246 pages. That'll probably only take me a couple of days to get through. So, super excited about this one. This one is very high on my list to read. Alright, this one has been sitting on my TBR for over a year now, and it is Scalebound. This one is on my list because it's been on my TBR for so long. I need to figure out if I want to pre-order the second one. So this one, it's about a girl who has dragon's blood, and all of the dragons are based on the 12 different elements, and she basically has to go on this quest, I believe. Haven't read a whole lot about it. And basically it's either kill or be killed because everyone's trying to kill her for her gilded blood. So I'm super excited about this. It's so pretty. So pretty. The edges are gorgeous, and I really hope I like it. It's been on my shelf for a while. So we're going to be diving into this one this fall. Okay. Next up, we have The Red Letter by Daniel G. Miller. I have another one of his books on my shelves. Where is it? We need to find it. Please hold. Here it is. So, we're back. So, we have The Red Letter and The Orphanage by the Lake. I want to read both of these, actually. They're by the same author, and they're both supposed to be very good. So, we're going to talk about The Red Letter first. I just want to read Orphanage by the Lake. So, this one, basically, you have this girl who has this boutique PI company, and there becomes a string of murders, but with every murder you find a red letter. And this girl's like hunting down this guy, or girl, or whoever it is, the killer, and then she gets a red letter, and she knows what this means. And so it's basically, she has to hunt him down before he finds her. So like the end of the little back of book synopsis says, as Hazel closes in on the killer closes in on her, and Hazel begins to question everything she thought she knew about herself and the people around her. Even worse, Hazel discovers that the only way to find the truth is to open one more red letter. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for this. So excited. The red letters continue to appear with every letter, another killing, each one more mysterious than the last. Cannot wait to dive into The Red Letter. Then we'll have Orphanage by the Lake, same author. So the back of this one is a missing girl, an orphanage filled with secrets. Oh, I think this is the I think this comes after this. I think it's the same people. Because as Hazel wants a new life, she's 30 years old, single, and her PI business is months away from folding. Her luck takes a turn when Madeline Hemsley, a mysterious socialite, pays Hazel a visit with an offer too enticing to resist. An orphan girl has disappeared from a children's home, the Orphanage by the Lake, as the locals call it, and Madeline wants Hazel to find her. At first glance, it appears to be a standard runaway case, but as Hazel plunges into the investigation, she finds signs of something more. Unexplained bloodstains, cryptic symbols, sinister figures, shadowing her every move. The more she digs, the more she realizes that the Orphanage by the Lake holds terrifying secrets, and even worse, so does Madeline. You have this one, and then you have this one. I need to figure out which one goes first. I think this one comes first, because this one says, like, best-selling author. This one doesn't. I think The Orphanage by the Lake comes before The Red Letter. I need to read both of these, okay? I need to read both of these. They're both super enticing. And these are definitely going to be, like, as we get closer to spooky season, these are definitely going to be what I read. Nothing beats a good thriller book when you're getting close to spooky season. Okay, we have Where the Dead Sleep by Joshua Moling. So this one It's by the same publisher as Orphans by the Lake and the Red Letter, so hopefully it's good. This one's been on my TBR for so long, I need to read it. Honestly, that's one of the main reasons it's on my list. Because it does sound interesting. So it's basically about small town secrets. You have this deputy who goes to a home invasion and finds Bill shot in the head. And he was a liked local who had easy money, left bad debts, lots of women. And then everyone that the deputy talks to has a story about Bill, but no one has a clear motive for wanting him dead. The business partner, the ex-wife, the current wife, the high-stakes poker buddies, and any of them, or none of them, could have done it. As the investigation begins, tragedy strikes the sheriff's department, forcing Packer to make a difficult choice about his future. Step down as acting sheriff and pursue the quiet life he came to Sandy Lake in search of, or subject himself to the scrutiny of an election for sheriff, a job he's not sure he wants. There's a hidden history to Sandy Lake that Packard, even the outsider, can't see. Bad blood and old secrets run deep, but an attempt on Packard's life means he's getting uncomfortably close to the dangerous legacy of the quiet Minnesota town, and someone will do anything to keep it hidden. So it's very much like small town secrets, and I am actually really excited to read this. This one is also, all of these are going to be at the top of my list, let's just be honest, because I've been wanting to read these forever. I'm also going to keep. So the next book is one that I really want to read, mainly before March of next year when the movie comes out, but I want to read it this fall, especially with like school going back. So you have Project Hail Mary, and so Ryland Grace is the sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Except that right now he doesn't know that. He can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment or how to complete it. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home, with nothing but 2 corpses for company. His crewmates are dead, his memory is fuzzily returning. Ryland realizes that an impossible task now confronts him. Hurtling through space on this tiny ship, he must puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery and conquer an extinction-level threat to our species. But with the clock ticking down and the nearest human being light years away, he's got to do it all alone. Or does he? Project Hail Mary is a tale of discovery, speculation, and survival to rival The Martian, while taking us to places we've never dreamed of going. So I know a little bit more about it because I saw the trailer when I went to the movie theaters for the film adaptation of this. So I know a little bit more about the character, but I'm super excited. Like, look at how floppy. We love a good flop. This is such a floppy paperback. Super excited. Like, just like chill, read one-handed. Love that. Love when they just like flop and stay open. So we have Project Hail Mary. This one is definitely high on my list, but it's also one I'm like, if I don't get to it until the winter, that is also fine because I do want to read it. I'll probably do oops, my water fell. I will probably do a reread of it as we get closer to the movie so that everything is fresh in my brain, and then I can mock the movie for not putting in everything that it absolutely should have. Because when I say I want a film or TV adaptation of a book, I mean I want a 10-hour saga per episode with every little detail and nothing left out. They're never going to do that in Hollywood. So, you know, here we are. But I'm super excited about this one. This one's supposed to be really good. Okay. Now we have The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. So this one got high praise, an excellent writer from George R.R. Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones. And so this one, 2 strangers find themselves connected by a vast and mysterious library containing many wonders and still more secrets. In this powerfully moving series opener from the international bestselling author of Red Sister and Prince of Thorns. The boy has lived his whole life trapped within a book-choked chamber older than empires and larger than cities. The girl has spent hers in a tiny settlement on the dust, where nightmares stalk and no one goes. The world has never even noticed them. That's about to change. Their stories spiral around each other, across worlds and time, but this is a tale of truth and lies and heart, and the blurring of one into another. A journey on which knowledge erodes certainty, and on which, though the pen may be mightier than the sword, blood will be spilled and cities burned. This definitely feels like it has some like fantastical elements to it. Definitely feels like it has some sci-fi like time travel-y things in it. Again, if you haven't noticed a trend yet, I like floppy paperbacks if I'm gonna read a paperback. Cause like hardbacks, they're pretty easy to just like hold open. Like they just gotta stay open. Paperbacks, they always want to try close on you. But this one does not. And I love it. I love a good fob. So, the book that would not burn. I'm actually really interested in this one. All of these books, obviously, I'm going to be super interested in. I bought them, but I cannot wait for that. All right. Then we have Lady of Darkness by Melissa Rorich. So, I'm actually currently reading Reign of Shadows and Endings, which is the second series, but set in this same world. So a lot of the reviews I've seen say that you need to read this one first, but I've also seen a lot of reviews that are like, you need to read this at least before the second book in that series, in the Legacy series. So I'm gonna finish Reign of Shadows and Endings. Obsessed with it currently. I'm eating it like it's candy. It's brain candy. It's phenomenal. And then I'm gonna eventually get into Lady of Darkness, finish this series, and then go back to that world. Just so that I have the context. I don't want to spoil anything that's in this series because I do want to read it. But I'm super excited. Ooh, what does the beginning look like? I love when chapters have like a pretty design, or like a different like fading, like this one does. Love that. So, super excited about this one. What is this one even about? I didn't know I just bought it. Owned by a ruthless assassin lord, Scarlet Monroe and her two sisters have been trained since they were children to torture and take life. They are the most feared trio on the continent, but they are also wild and unpredictable. A tragic night has Scarlet finding herself locked away in a noble's household, trapped and forgotten until she's ready to fall in line. Until the day she is presented with a job. If she completes the assignment, her payment will be something she has coveted for 10 years. Revenge against the Fae Fire Prince who brutally killed her mother. Is she willing to sacrifice her ideals for retribution? But when children begin disappearing from her home, all her plans are put on hold as she races to save the most innocent. With the help of old friends, a jilted lover, and a mysterious newcomer who claims the magic of the Fae is possible in the mortal lands, Scarlet delves into the darkest corners of the world. Forgotten secrets will come to light, and she will discover the darkness extends far beyond her own kingdom. Love that. We love a good assassin fantasy book. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Now, I wish I had more flop. It is not super floppy compared to the other ones. Like this one. This one. Like this one will just like probably stay held open. This one probably won't. But I'm okay with that because I'm super excited to get into the story. Now we have another series that I want to finish. We have Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising. The final two books in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, because I really do want to get into the Six of Crows duology, but to do that, I need to finish these two. So I was like a 3-star on Shadow and Bone, so hopefully these are better and improved on that. But these two, I don't want to really give anything in the back of the book. I don't want to give away any spoilers for the first book. So, but we always have the 3 words on the back. So I've already read Soldier. This one is Summoner, and this one is Saint. So I cannot wait to get through these, and then we are going to dive into Six of Crows after I get through these. Okay. Another series that I want to finish. The first one in the series. What was the name of it? It was the something. I cannot remember the name of it. We'll be back. I'm failing. So then you have the Deceiving and the Awakening. So these are the last 2 in the trilogy. They're both very small. They're from a local author in St. Augustine. Not where I live. I picked up the first one when I was there on a trip. And so I cannot wait to dive into these 2. The first book, it's this girl has these like gifts that she doesn't realize that she has. Like, but her sister had some, and she meets this boy who also has them, and then her start showing themselves. And everything is just like super weird and crazy, and it's like a mix of like sci-fi paranormal romance almost. It's super good. Definitely recommend. I was eating it up, and I cannot wait to dive back into the story and figure out what happens. So if you have not sensed the theme, we are in the season of finishing series I'm in the middle of that I didn't realize I was in the middle of this many, but here we are. So I want to read The Housemaid's Secret and The Housemaid is Watching. I finished The Housemaid in July, I think. So phenomenal. But I want to finish the series with these two. And yeah, basically if you've never read The Housemaid is this girl is having a hard time finding a job, and she finally gets this call back for a maid. Like, she's gonna be a live-in maid, take care of the house, and occasionally like pick the kid up from school. So nothing, like, the pay was great. She did lie a little bit on the background, but you know, when you're a convicted criminal, you have a hard time finding a job. And so she did what she needed to do and ended up getting the job. But then things start getting weird. And like, the wife starts acting like a psycho, and the husband just is like, oh, here we go again. And it's weird. It is very strange. It is very good. Definitely recommend. Probably one of Frida's best. I understand why they're trying to get into a movie. But I cannot wait to go back and read these two books in that world. So, super excited about that one. Okay. We have The Bone Shard Daughter. SJM, the queen of fantasy, said that this is one of the best fantasy novels she's read in a long time. So I'm super excited about it. I have it on Libby, and so once I finish The Girl Who Was Taken on Audible, because that one is no longer included on Audible on September 9th, in case you needed a little hint on what to read, and you want a thriller, that one is not going to be available for much longer. But so I'm finishing that one, and then I'm going to get into The Bone Shard Daughter. So let's see. I've read the back of all of these books, but I have the memory of a goldfish sometimes, so we're going to refresh together. So, the Emperor's reign has lasted for decades, his mastery of bone shard magic powering the animal-like constructs that maintain law and order. But now his rule is failing, and revolution is sweeping across the Emperor's many islands. When the Emperor refuses to recognize his daughter as heir to the throne, she vows to prove her worth by mastering the forbidden art of bone shard magic. Yet magic carries a deadly cost. We love costing magic. Super excited. And, like, based on, like, the picture, it looks like it has, like, Asian vibes. Like, it might be based off of, like, it looks like Asian temples. I'm super excited for that. I love fantasy books in Asia. Like, A Song to Drown Rivers is one of my favorite books ever. So, super excited this week. Love this. And I'm so excited to listen to it over the next, like, week. I'll be done with The Girl Who Was Taken, like, tomorrow. Cannot wait to get into this one. Okay, this one I have to read in October as we get closer to Halloween. I don't normally do a lot for Halloween, honestly. Halloween is not my favorite holiday. I'm a Christmas girly through and through. But I love a good spooky book. So we have We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough, which I've heard and seen phenomenal things on Book Talk about it. So this one, after an accident that nearly killed her, Emily and her husband Freddie move from London to a beautiful Dartmoor country house called Larkin Lodge. The house is gorgeous, striking, and to Emily, something about it feels deeply wrong. Old boards creak at night, fires go out, and books fall from their shelves. And all of it stems from the terrible presence she feels in the third floor bedroom. But these things happen only when Emily's alone. So are they happening at all? She's still medically fragile. Her post-sepsis condition can cause hallucinatory side effects, which means she can't fully trust her own senses. Freddie doesn't notice anything odd and is happy with their chance at a fresh start. Emily, however, starts to believe that the house is being haunted by someone who's murdered in it, though she can find no evidence of a wrongful death. As bizarre events pile up and her marriage starts to crumble, Emily becomes obsessed with discovering the truth about Larkin Lodge. But if the house has secrets, so do Emily and her husband, and they live here now. Ooh. We love a good secret. This one, honestly, gives me vibes of William by Mason Coyle that I read last year. This one gives me those kinds of vibes. Like, what is happening in this house? Cannot wait. It also reminds me I've not read it, but there's a book called We Used to Live Here that everyone raves about. And so I think this one gives me the same type of vibes from what I've heard about that one. So if I really like this one, I'm going to have to try that one too. So definitely super excited. Definitely going to be closer to an October read. I do have it on hold on Libby, so hopefully it comes in before Halloween, but if not, I'll just listen to it then. Okay. Fairytale. Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. I have a couple of thick books on my TBR. Praise the Lord for audiobooks. So, Fairytale. You have this girl whose dad dies. She does not have a relationship with him, but he's like, hey, if you want your inheritance, you have to come to my funeral in Fairytale. And when she gets there, things are just going kind of weird and creepy. And so basically she finds herself embroiled in a web of lies, deceit, and inexplicable events that make her question her sanity. When an ancient evil threatens the town and everything Darcy holds dear, she must make the ultimate choice. But will she survive it? Whew. This one, it's a thick book. It's like 700 something pages. So this is definitely one I'll either be reading on Kindle or listening to. Probably listening to. To be honest, very thick book. But it is a very floppy book. My paperback can be very floppy, and I love it. Love when publishers listen to us. Fairytale is definitely she thing. This is one I've been wanting to read for a while, and I finally found it at Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or somewhere. So I'm super excited that I had it. I can't wait to read it this fall. Another one I'm super excited about is The Will of the Many by James Islington. So this one, you basically have this guy who lies about who he is to get into the school to discover the secrets. So he tells them that he's orphaned and that he's somebody else that he is not. And he wants to, his thing is to search for an ancient weapon to uncover secrets that may tear the Republic apart. And I will never ever cede my will to the empire that executed my family. So basically, he wants to join the rest of civilized society in allowing his strength, his drive, and focus, what they call will, to be leached away and added to the power of those above me, as millions already do, as all must eventually do. I tell them that I belong, and they believe me. But he's been sent to the academy to find answers to solve a murder. If the hierarchy finds out who he truly is, they will kill him. I'm so excited about this one. This one I already have on Audible, and so I need to get through a couple of other books before that I already have to listen to before I dive into this one. This one is another 700 something page beast. My bookshelves and make sure there's no other ones that are going to certainly be on the list. Where did I find one? Yep, there's already two more that I was like, oh, those need to be on the list, and they were not. Take that three. So, we have Mistborn and The Way of Kings. Two Brando Sandos. So, I have both of them on hold on Libby because there's no way I'm getting through this 1,300 page book, like, within a year by myself. So, definitely have this one on Libby. I'm super excited to read that one. That one is on the list, as well as Mistborn. So, we definitely cannot wait to dive into these two. So yeah, those are the main ones. Like all of these, I'm determined to get through before the end of November. So this would be my fall TBR. So if you have any thoughts on any of the books that I have mentioned here in this humongo stack, leave a comment, like the video if you like what you see. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all next time. Have a good night.